Tokens, coins of Bitcoin falling. You can see they're about 1% right now, 32,005 roughly the trade there. The crypto is down now more than 7% this month. But our next guest is hoping that's about to turn around. We are talking with Grayscale Investments, taking a big step today in converting its Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, into an ETF product, announcing an exclusive partnership with BNY Mellon. For more, let's bring in Michael Sonnenschein, CEO of Grayscale Investments. It's always great to talk with you. Let's talk a little bit about whether or not you're worried right now about the sideways slash downturn that we've seen in Bitcoin itself.
Great to be here, Dom. I think investors are used to this type of volatility within the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And I actually would say that more often than not, investors use pullbacks or lulls in price opportunistically, really as a time to maybe average down on their position or, maybe reinitiate positions they previously had.
So if that's the case, we would see some kind of a step into buy. Yet right now, one of the things that stands out to me, being a former fund guy in a previous life, is the amount of discount that we see in terms of the share price for GBTC to the value of the underlying trade. Some people call it discount to net asset value. It's trading at some of the deepest discounts that we've seen in years at this point. What does it exactly tell you as an asset manager about the sentiment around Bitcoin and other parts of the crypto space?
That's exactly right. GBTC is trading today at a discount to its net asset value. And what we've started to see is a lot of institutions and smart money move into that, really thinking that a dollar deployed into buying GBTC at a discount to NAV will actually allow them to control more Bitcoin with that investment than if they were to buy it in the spot market. I think many of these investors also recognize that we are deeply committed to converting GBTC to an ETF. And so today, thinking about what we're doing with BNY Mellon and really advancing our efforts towards an ETF, investors know that ultimately that discount would be arbitraged away as the fund would be trading back at NAV in an ETF format.
So we should call out maybe some props here to BNY Mellon. They were one of the first large financial institutions to say that they were going to start looking more seriously at incorporating cryptocurrencies into some of their platforms. So it perhaps makes sense that you're partnering with them. I guess maybe I'm curious if you could just take us through, and the other viewers and listeners out there, what the difference is between the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust as it exists today versus what it would be like as an ETF product.
Well, GBTC, which is the ticker symbol for Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, is a publicly traded passive Bitcoin strategy, just purely invested in Bitcoin. The fund has been around since 2013, traded publicly since 2015, and became an SEC reporting company in early 2020. And so it has all the makings that one would see in an ETF, except for two items that remain. Number one, GBTC would move to a national securities exchange, such as the NYSE or NASDAQ. And then there would also be regulatory relief provided to the product, such that there could be simultaneous creations and redemptions. So investors who own GBTC today or own GBTC anytime between now and when it does convert to an ETF, in fact, would just simply own the ETF upon the conversion. So a couple steps left to go, but we really are excited about what we're doing with BNY Mellon and are, again, really committed to making sure that we move the product to an ETF when regulators are ready for it.
All right, Michael Sonnenschein at Grayscale, thank you very much. Please come back and update us on that traffic on your end of things. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's trade it, guys. I mean, Guy Adami, I'll go to you with this because I'm trying to figure out whether or not this is any kind of a hiccup for the overall crypto industry. Does the fact that Bitcoin's not doing anything right now really take away some of the shine?
Feels that way. A lot of people, listen, the people that love the asset will say it's building a base here. The naysayers will say that the fact that it's been here for so long means we have another leg lower. I have no idea. I don't think it's trading particularly well. And in terms of the ETF, by no means am I an expert in this field whatsoever, but I can make a pretty cogent argument. I think that the best thing that happened to the gold market was the gold ETF, and the worst thing that happened to the gold market was the gold ETF. And my sense is you might see similar here in Bitcoin. Again, the scarcity value is one of the things that Bitcoin fanatics really get around. You're sort of taking that away with an ETF, in my opinion. It's going to be interesting to see how this trades over the next couple of weeks.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.